Hi everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Pause and Effect Quick Play. I'm your host CJ, and today we are going to be playing a nifty little game known as the Beginner's Guide. So, okay, something is happening with my mouse. I hope it's a miracle. But, okay, everything's fine. So, I said this when I first pushed the stream earlier today, or when I posted about it, but if there is time after this is done, then depending on how I feel, I will get into some RPG Maker MV, just some self-study for it, and I will update the stream accordingly. So please bear that in mind. But the reason I'm playing this game, The Beginner's Guide, today as opposed to doing RPG Maker is because this game came highly recommended from a streamer and slash game developer called Pirate Software, where he said if you're looking to break into game dev or push something out as a game dev or anything similar, then you need to play this game because it's about the consumption of media from a consumerist perspective from the outside looking in. So with all that being said, let's give it a go. Please make sure audio is on. Controls, WASD and left click. Got it.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011.
So this is a real story.
We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since.
Oh,
and that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Ooh, I like the negative space. All right, let's see. What the?
Whisper machine active. Shift destruction imminent.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
I used up all my bullets.
Security call reached. Hostile alien life form inbound.
It kind of looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Oh my god, you can. That's actually kind of funny. That's very much how I was taught skyboxes worked when I was in college. When I was getting my game design degree at DePaul University. Oh, what? There's more? This way? What about this way? No? Alright. What the? Okay.
Apparently this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Oh, well, thank you.
Okay, this is the part
I mean, I
that's
wouldn't have
interesting.
minded.
The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Oh, one sec. Sorry, needed some water.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam.
What?
It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
I mean, I can try.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Alright, so what happens instead? Oh my god, I'm floating.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
The past was behind her.
Yep, in this game you can only walk backwards.
Really? And the music is playing backwards too. That's a very interesting touch. Huh.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. So I'm gonna go back and read all this. So... The past was behind her, but the future could not be seen. Why does the future keep changing? When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. But if the future is always behind her, how will she find the strength to confront it
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
Oh, interesting. Oh, I can only go in a strict... You are now entering. Hello?
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Okay. I'll take your word.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games. I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do? Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself. A room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
A button you press
Coda
to
would
stop the
often tell me that
chaos.
he didn't
That doesn't
mind if
work.
people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
A stranger appears. Oh, turn that back on. I was reading that. Ready, set, fish.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Oh, look at that.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot. So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. All right, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Whoa.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way,
Wow.
I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
That is a very good question. You are now exiting.
Aha. So, this combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
The Great and Lovely Descent. Whoa.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development. To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source.
Oh, Source Engine.
Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well. The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
So then, does that mean this game was made in Source Engine too? Oh no! What? Oh. I didn't think I'd hit the floor. Or a floor for that matter. Whoa. Oh, it's an escalator. Oh, it's still going. Oh.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that. This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
Jeez.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time. There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
And of course you can see the bottom of the sky down there too. Very interesting. God, it reminds me of an assignment that I did once. So when I was in college, there was an assignment that I had to do for a game dev class where the teacher had his own engine that was modified off of C# programming that was called Iridel. And it was his own engine, and we were supposed to take his engine and make things in it. So the thing that I did, because we had to do just create a scene that was reminiscent off of a fairy tale. So I remember doing James and the Giant Beanstalk, or whatever it was called, and I made a scene that I was proud of, because like less than an amateur, I had barely any kind of experience whatsoever doing 3D modeling, and I made a skybox, put it in the scene, and I made all the other things in Maya, put those in the scene. And what I thought I had, I didn't think it was great, but I thought to myself, like, I think this satisfies the assignment, because at that time I didn't know. And I remember I got docked points off because the teacher could see the edge of the world that I had created, the edge of the scene, and the edge of the and he could see the bottom of the skybox that I created once he decided to like jump off the world. And I remember I think I got a C or a D for that, and I just took it, dude. It's one of those things where I'm just like, I look back on it and maybe I could try to do something different now, but if I wanted to revisit it, but I don't know. What's this? You there, did you come from up above?
Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
That's the world above. You've been there. Now this is important. Did you have to go through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes. Again, perfect. Now please tell us how you solve it. Trust me, you don't want to go over there. Oh no, but I do. We do. We need to get there. Do you understand? It's the most important thing in this world. If we have to escape this prison, there must be an ending. I promise you, there's nothing I want more. What? Another one? No, I've been right here this entire time. Why would I sit in the black space? Eventually. I'm going to pop back over to my OBS and move my logo up here for now. Here's better, actually. There we go.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Then let's see it. This looks kind of nice.
It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Oh, moving on. April 2009. This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them.
Oh, no?
Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played. But it's ironic, isn't it, that in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Butt-ass butt. I just see some things like, I refuse to believe, and then I go over to, like, I need to go to the freaking bathroom. Recognize me, please. Butt-ass butt. It's like they say, it's like that Patrick quote from SpongeBob SquarePants where he's just like, the inner machinations of my mind are an enigma. There's nothing here. Go back. Don't listen to that guy. A free t-shirt. Need other side door. Why you so... Okay. Makes game. Includes door. Cannot open door. Thanks. Open sesame. Door how open. Someday I will meet the person who made this. I help people because of the internal good feeling I get. I'm more than a little curious just to... I can ignore these messages, is what he said. And just keep going. It does not matter if you ever get over there. Very good game. Hey, don't talk about me that way. What is that? Well, I'm here now. Yeah, we're all here now. There's a part of me where I'm just like, I wish I could sprint through this.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his
I'm
games,
hearing whispers.
after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on. And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
I continue to hear the whispers. Typewriters? What? Are you there? Please say something. It can be anything. I just need you to say something. Talk to me, please. Why are you having so much difficulty talking? Speak, 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 speak. I just keep saying speak. Porn stars die too?
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kinda just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it. See, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Where's the furniture? What the? You gave me a table. Tables were invented in 1935. Wait, really? That doesn't sound legit. What the?
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake. So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Hello, please walk forward. This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully. Take care that you remember each step. First, click on this table. Good. Go over to the photo frame and click to turn it slightly. Now then, turn the floor lamp in this room off, then turn it back on. Now go to the left side sofa, move it over a little. Finally, touch the shelves. That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this, to see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop, that particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something.
Oh.
And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Alright, well, let's see. Can't move. Hello? Who is this? Hey, it's me. I'm you from after you escaped the prison. You're me? So you were trapped in this prison too? Yep, I was in the furniture maze.
And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to
That's
someone,
where I am right
to
now.
share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
That's where I am right now. Oh, I'm so glad to know that I get out eventually. What's it like to escape? I'll go with 3. It feels like being completely still and wildly in motion at the same time. Do you feel any different? Sometimes I'm scared I'll get out and then things will be exactly the same as before. 2. It actually does change. I don't feel like the same person at all. Oh, good. That's so nice to hear. That makes me feel really happy. Remember to enjoy being who you are right now. It won't last. Ah, that's deep. That is actually really fucking... What's that subreddit? r/I'm14 and this is deep? But let's go with that. 3. Remember to enjoy being who you are right now. It won't last. Wait, if you're me, then did you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? No, I think I'm the first person to call back. Can you tell me how to get out? Maybe I can come find you. What do I have to do? To get out, all you have to do is be sincere. I like that. What? That will free me? How does that work? Listen, you can't know until you're out, but I promise it works. Just be sincere, it will make sense. I'll go, you can't know until you're out, but I promise it works. Sincere about what? That's exactly what you need to figure out in order to escape.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
It would be nice. I agree.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
Where am I?
To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
I had a lucid dream about this once. Except this was the setting for a horror escape room puzzle type thing. Well, my goodness, I'm glad as all heck that you showed up. Thought I might be having to clean this entire house all by myself, and right miserable that would have been. Everyone knows lonesome hands make lousy homes.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Don't worry about me. A place this nice, I'll be glad to stay here all night. Well, now you just might be getting a little ahead of yourself there, no? Why don't we start cleaning and then you decide whether we could do it all night? I'll finish up here. In the meantime, could you please clear the table? Much nicer. That's the table I want to see. Now would you please run into the bedroom and make the bed? That's the bathroom. Oh no, here we go. Ooh. While you're in there, why don't you straighten out the rug a bit? All the little details matter. How'd you end up doing this job? A friend dragged me along at a time when I was particularly desperate for cash. Turns out I've never felt so good doing something for money in my whole life. Never did like cleaning my own home. I might get some demons I ain't ready to face yet. Speaking of demons, someone put this couch all in a mess. Would you come and straighten out these pillows here? Oh dear, looks like someone spilled a drink all over by the couch. Maybe mop that up as long as you're over there. I feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Make it especially cheesy. No. No, it was stupid. Sorry. Never mind. Hey, these dishes need to be washed. Why don't you come do that? As I checked, the tub needed a cleaning. But you scrub it down as best you can. No need to be perfect, we're all just human. Are there still books scattered on the floor in the bedroom? If so, would you put them back on the shelf? Perfect. Now then, how about you come and clean these dishes off the table?
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Do these chores ever end? Darling, let me tell you something. Whatever work you do, you have absolutely got to own it, otherwise it owns you. So why don't we be with the task at hand and leave the future chores to future you. Present you wants to smooth out the rug in the bedroom, believe it or not.
I know that Coda really
Trust
liked
me
this
on this
game.
one.
Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time, just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Earlier when I said I had a really cheesy thought, I was going to say that it occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it and it takes care of you. I don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. I'm gonna say, but there's a bit of truth in it, no? Anyway, so, housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books. Would you please clean up these books? Thanks. Oh goodness, those pillows on the couch are
I'm
real
glad
nice.
he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
Question. Do
But,
you enjoy
of
this?
course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive. Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
That's a good point, I think, to take from something like that. Fairly deep, too. Items you love at members-only prices.
This one gets a bit goofy.
Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. You came here to become perfect. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about that way in your own life? Who do you know is so well developed as a person that they make you feel disgusted with yourself, compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful? I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. And that question is not how we do it, but how we do it effortlessly. This is easy. It is so easy. It is so easy.
About halfway through the game, the
Being
perspective
perfect
shifts.
is effortless. What the What in the world?
And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
So, I guess the only thing I can really select, this is the key. How do we achieve, I achieve it with no effort? Well, let me tell you right now, if it isn't effortless, then it's not the right answer. If you're torturing yourself trying to find the right solutions for your life, you're not doing it right. Seek out only one thing. What is the easiest, simplest path forward? There is no truth. There is no path. Do what is easiest. Do what is simplest. Feel what is true. Nothing. No one.
I felt pretty hard for this one. I
Perfection.
feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
Brilliant. January 2010.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Oh my god. Alright, the performance is beginning. Places, please. In this scene, you will be playing as me. We are at a gathering of professionals. First, you'll start out leaning against this wall. Good. Stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. I'll go humor. Where's the bathroom? What are you doing? You're deflecting. You're not saying what's actually on your mind. Stop dancing around it and have a conversation with this person. Do it again. I'm super scared right now. Actually, I'm going to go with, I like you. No, that's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment, but I was so confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feel of the setting. There were a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent the people nearby. Now talk to her again. What are some sacrifices you've had to make? You're messing it all up again. You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. Do you not realize how important this was for me? I'll never get another opportunity like this again. Everything was riding on this. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. Oh, it's jail. Okay, yes, now this is working. This is what it was like.
Premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
Mobius Strip. To play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Help, I'm blind! Please, someone talk to me! It's the door! Ouch. What's going on?
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
Please don't let this be forever. The only way to stop is to speak something that is honest. I can't keep making these. Yes, that's it. That's the truth. What? I don't feel
Like I
anymore.
said, I was
I'm
getting
out of
concerned.
ideas. It's draining
First
me.
off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way.
I'm alone. We're going to be okay.
His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
Ow. Where am I? Where did this island come from? Is it a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. When I try to create, I feel empty. Oh no! What's happened? Did something change? There was a machine that kept me going, and it stopped. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where that is. It isn't far. You have to take me to it. I can do that, but there's a
If the
problem.
last game featured Coda talking
It's guarded by
explicitly
a
about his
difficult
creative
puzzle.
frustrations,
If you can solve
this
the
one
puzzle,
turns it
we'll
up to
find
11.
the machine.
Now, put
Deal?
yourself in my shoes playing this.
Deal.
Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration,
Ooh, a Tory
anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for? Because from my perspective at the time, and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Now you have to close the first door. Alright, what's next? Now just press the switch here.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
There's no machine here. Trust me, you'll see. You have to say that your work is fun and easy. You have to say that game development is simple and joyous, and that you love it 100% of the time. From my perspective, none of these are true. I'll say, sure, making games is easy. Ah, that feels wonderful. Why did I feel so awful when I said that? Don't worry about it. Just keep talking. Keep saying that creation is easy. I'm constantly excited and enthusiastic about my work. Yes, that's wonderful. Keep going.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
Just never stop creating in you. Every time I make something, I feel better about myself. It's such a simple solution. Just never stop creating and you'll never feel bad. I'll go with number 2. Perfect.
This is someone I really
That feels
cared about.
fantastic.
And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
I'm going to vomit. Patience. You have to trust me. I promise you this will work. Please, continue. Any sacrifices made for my work are worth it 100% of the time. No, I'm gonna go with it always pays off eventually. Yes, more.
I don't know.
Keep going.
This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
I will be saved by my work. Incredible. That's it. I'm free. I'm free.
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
May of 2011. The Machine. Ma'am, glad to see you've arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation process whenever you like. I intend to be quick. Very good. Just be warned that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing that you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda.
And of course, it's the machine.
You stopped. Your work was keeping us alive. Those people out there, can you imagine what pain you've put them through? So here's what needs to happen. You need to go out and apologize to them. Think carefully. I know how to hurt you. Alright then, I will speak to them for you. My followers! It falls on me to deliver bad news. The machine will not apologize to us. But this is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are, or we will find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. Let us show it that we are not failures. Follow me, we will destroy everything that the machine has created. I feel dirty playing this. Coda, I'll make sure that your work dies here. Isn't that what you're scared of? Having to live without your precious creations? Having to deal with yourself?
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for it? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work? So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Put down your weapon.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy. So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
I felt really uncomfortable with that last one. Man, the tower.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
This room actually has a maze in it.
What the?
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Man.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
15 16 17.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that. Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011, I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years, I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't. I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else.
I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed.
Man, this is just... The further I go into this experience, the
Where did
deeper
I
it
screw up?
cuts.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
That hurts to read, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Dear Davy, thank you for your interest in my games. I need to ask you not to speak to me anymore.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... It felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
I wonder at times whether you think I'm making these games for you. You've so infected my personal space that it's possible I did begin to plant solutions in my work somewhere hidden between games. If there was an answer,
And
a meaning...
the people who played
Oh,
them,
wait.
they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
If there was an answer, a meaning, would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Giving them something that is not yours to give? Violating the one boundary that keeps me safe? Would you stop changing my games? Stop adding lampposts to them? So that was him? Really? Would you simply
And then
let
you
them be
stopped.
what they are?
And I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean?
When I am around you, I feel physically ill. You desperately need something and I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just part of the process. The fact that you think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than about me. I realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet. Which is fine. You're not my problem to solve. But I do hope that one day it clicks, and that you make peace with this thing you're wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
And when you finally see what I'm talking about, don't say anything.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me?
Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Man. Epilogue. I like this.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease. Solution. I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons. Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you. If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like. What now?
It's hard, man, because I relate heavily to this.
I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna... Okay.
I feel like personally in my life I've been the person that I wasn't Coda, but I was Dave from back then. on the whole validation thing, and I feel like I'm that same person now. And I don't know, man. I guess it's one of those things where you try not to think about it, but it's hard sometimes. Hold up. I think that's why I started really picking up RPG Maker MV, just to prove to myself, like, did I waste my own life with pursuing game development and UX design for games as a degree? Did I just, like, can I still do it by myself? Can I get people to trust me on a vision of some kind? And yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough. It's very tough. And even now, I'm still struggling to find the words to say, because this whole thing has just really cut me deep. And even knowing too that, like, with everything I've done and the friends that I've lost along the way, I just... Whoa. There's no end in sight. Ever. SC Jolly, welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here. Maybe the point of the game is to get beyond feeling that way? Maybe.
Turn back.
For our...
Turn back from this cave. You said, let me prove that I'm brave. Let me keep going. But the cave goes for miles and miles and miles.
man. So that about covers it, everybody. That was the beginner's guide. They said that it only takes an hour and a half to play it all the way through. So that about covers the end of it. So I suppose I can spare 30 minutes to like talk about things and think about let me move this down. Turn back is the ending message. No, it's just a song that plays at the end. Okay, so here's my desktop, my Steam page. And here is RPG Maker MV. So let me take a minute to update the stream title a little bit. So I'm going to come over here. Refresh my YouTube page. Okay. I'll save that for now. Go ahead and grab the link to the Lazy Sunday album on Spotify. Put that in the description, and then grab some tags from my last RPG Maker MV stream. I guess it would be faster to just copy and paste all the tags and then just take out the duplicates. Oh, shoot. That actually did it. So I'm going to go ahead and put that album on. There we go. Man. I guess the thing I'm thinking of now is like, what do I add? Okay. I can try making more of the town. Oh wait. It's not in the right spot, is it? Actually, I need to use the bathroom real fast, so I'm going to just put up my BRB screen. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. Let me turn the music back on. Oopsie, okay. So then... New Oasis Town North Central. Outside. What's the size of this place? 30-20? Oops. Whoops. My bad. There we go. Yeah, that looks better. Or does it? Oops. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, that looks a lot better, actually. But Essie Jolly, if you're still out there, turn back is the ending message. No, I don't think so. I think it's just a song that plays at the very end of it. So from 18, so just from 6 all the way over. Like, I disagree somehow. In what way? If you don't mind me asking. But I don't know what it means. Then how exactly do you disagree then? Oh, I see. My first reaction was that turn back refers to going back and changing the way you've done things in the past. Not going back, but in the future. That's a good interpretation, actually. I like that. Actually, I'm gonna make this scene larger. Makes sense? Maybe not? No, I think it makes sense. Oh, whoops. After all, you can't go back. You can only change what you do in the future. Hey, I agree. By learning from the past. I agree. By learning from the past, you can avoid the same mistakes. What would you say to, like, people who, like, think they learn from the past, but unintentionally end up making the same mistakes? Oh, wait. I guess... Same mistakes like what? I don't know, to be honest with you. Well, okay. Simply because that isn't exactly information that I want to, like... Well, okay. That, I feel like I've spoken too much, and that information is a little bit more private than I'm willing to share. Just in a way. No problem. Yeah, sorry. I realize now I've said a little bit too much. It should be something to think about, not to broadcast. I agree. Actually. Actually, Red Roof. So what is your game story on this RPG project? To be honest with you, I have no idea yet. I've just been building it, trying to make it as mechanically sound as I possibly can. Excuse me, but there's a part of me that also thinks like, you have so many good ideas in your portfolio, why don't you try one of those? You've seen that, huh? But as much as I agree with you, there's a part of me that thinks like, yeah, let that come a little later. Let me teach myself now, and then when I'm finally comfortable enough to do something mechanically with the whole thing, with the entire engine, yeah, no, I know. When I'm finally comfortable enough to make something using the engine to do exactly what it is, or make exactly whatever it is I wanted to make for a while, then after that I can think to myself, like, why don't I take one of these ideas and make something out of it? But for the time being, I don't think I'm there yet. I suppose really it's just a thing of knowing my own limits, you know? Now that I think about it. Let me check some. I think you're getting pretty good at it already. Just keep practicing. Oh, thank you. Okay. So I need to... What would you like to do? Using this book, you can save your game. What would you like to do? There was something in this for, Oh, apparently you can't delete saves. Ouch. Oh well, nothing to it. Well, I guess let's put some stuff on the water then. Yeah, that looks nice. I think I have an idea. Blue roof house. Inside. Just put down a floor. That doesn't look good as a wall. There we go, that's centered. Is there a carpet tile I can? No? Oh, but this could be interesting. Blue floor. And I gotta make sure that I adjust this. Thank you. All right. Nifty looking chimney over here. Sip of water, give me a moment. Yeah, that looks okay. Oh wait, the beds are over here. Nah, that doesn't look. That's better. There, I like that. Yeah, that's fine. No. I've got to find like a larger table or something. Actually, I have an idea. Can you make house walls like in Animal Crossing Happy Home Paradise? Unfortunately, no. This thing that you're seeing right here, this is the wall. Because it's entirely from an isometric perspective, which if you don't know what that means is top-down. To divide the rooms, I mean. Unfortunately, I don't think I can. RPG Maker MV is fairly limited in that regard. If I wanted to do something more akin to Happy Home Designer or Happy Home Paradise, then I'd have to use whoops. I'd have to use something a lot closer to like unity or something similar. Let's see. A red-haired man in a blue-roofed house. These statues are my most prized possessions. Break them and I break your face. There. Now I can do the red roof house. Okay, so grab this wall. Come on. Oh, that's why. So now for this house, I can use red floor. But there's also cracked red floor. Oh, nothing I can really do there. This house is not going to have nearly as nice things as you'd be able to find in the other one. Yeah, that works, because there isn't really a blue banner that I can hang. I would argue that I can be halfway decent when it comes to, like, working with what I'm given. Cracks in the carpet, because that's all I can really do. Yeah, you. Life's been hard ever since. Life's been hard ever since that blue-roofed bastard took everything from me. Red house owner. Okay, so before I do that, set up a transfer. Oh wait, hang on. Yeah. This is fine. So then here I'm going to set up Royal Palace Guard. Sorry, but by order of the king, I can't let you pass. There. Now I can try to populate this area with a couple more NPCs. Put a hidden one all the way over here. Hidden beach NPC. Now what thing haven't I used yet? Oh, wait, I used him already. There. Actually, I have an idea first. Set movement route, this event. Turn down. I'll add that. Get his face. The other side of the oasis. Well, yeah, duh. Well, yeah, duh. I mean, beyond just the town. Not really. Fair enough. Talk to me again when you've given it some real thought. Huh, strange. Maybe I'll just get rid of that one too. Gotta keep it even. Did I redo this transfer? No, I did not. Ouch. I gotta say, this is a pretty nice block out of the town that I did. if I set up an outdoor structure here? Oh, I have more banner options. God, why? But I guess they're indigenous to this. God, why are they in the other thing? Oh, well, no matter. Oh, this could work actually. Veggie seller. They're both gonna have the same sprite. Actually, before I do that, yeah, wanna buy some veggies? Show choices. Actually, isn't there just like a shop thing? Right, I gotta. So people 1, 6. Oh wait, he goes over here. Seafood seller. So same guy. Buy some fish. Well, I'd have to add items, so I'll just do potion for now. Okay, so now I gotta set up my transfers between Northwest transfer. Wait, what am I doing? There. So now I come back here. Nope, I come back here. There we go. Hold up. There we go. Yeah, I have no idea where I'm going with this scene, but at the same time, like, it looks relatively decent, and it's pretty sound, I would argue. I don't know, I personally feel like I'm kind of at a loss in terms of what to create today, because I have, very little to no ideas for just this this file. So I like it. SC Jolly, thank you. But I have no idea how to proceed from here. I'm gonna be perfectly blunt with you, chat. So this is becoming one of those things where I don't know how to proceed. And I mean, that's not unusual. It happens. So I guess I really just need to think about what kind of idea I want to make, coming into this next time. So, then and I see what time it is, and I'm actually pretty hungry right now. So unfortunately, I haven't done much in terms of creation this stream, but I think I'm going to go ahead and end this here. So maybe there are some mechanical inconsistencies in some of my other scenes that I have yet to take a look at. So I'll do that again another time, like next week or so. But for the time being, that's going to be the end of the stream. Like, good night, Essie Jolly. Thank you for being here. But that's going to be the end of the stream, everybody. Thank you all so much for tuning in to, at first, watch me play the beginner's guide, and then after that do a little bit more subdued creation with some RPG Maker MV. So if you liked what you saw, please consider liking the stream, subscribing to the channel, ringing the bell to get notified of future streams, and leaving a comment down below on what you thought of this stream. All that and more will definitely help get this channel painted in a better light with the algorithm, and I thank you all for your efforts so far. Also, please thank you again for tuning into my shorts. I haven't yet posted one today, but it means a lot to me that you guys are able to watch those. So tomorrow I have off, and then Sunday I'm going to be doing the true ending to Sea of Stars. So that's definitely something to look forward to, especially considering Sea of Stars is a very fun game, and I'm very glad that it won Indie Game of the Year at the Game Awards. But with all that being said, you guys have been an excellent audience. Once again, this has been Pause and Effect Quick Play. I've been your host, CJ, and that's it for me. Have an excellent rest of your night, everyone. Take care. Bye.